guys, what's up? It's Sierra. It is not my normal upload day. It's Thursday and it's kind of like the world has gone crazy. This is probably one of the craziest things that I've lived through in my 24 years on this planet. There's been a lot of wild stuff in the courses of life, but this whole thing with the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak and the global pandemic has been insane. And if you're new to my channel and you don't know, I'm Sierra, and one of my various jobs is that I work at Disneyland. Wearing my Disneyland sweatshirt right here, and it has just been released a couple hours ago that Disneyland is closing because of the coronavirus. Something else that is really crazy about Disneyland closing amid the coronavirus outbreak is that prior to today, Disneyland has only closed 3 times in the past before for disasters since Disneyland opened in 1955, and now it's 2020, so that's insane. The first one was when JFK was assassinated, the second was during the Northridge earthquake in 1994, and the third was on 9/11. And for each of those incidents, Disneyland was only closed for 1 to 2 days. Now today, Disneyland released that they are going to be closed starting Saturday, March 14th, which is 2 days from now, all the way through the rest of the month of March. So this is absolutely huge. We have never had anything like this before, ever. Disneyland has never shut down for this amount of time. Now, we already know that Disneyland Tokyo, Disneyland Shanghai, and Disneyland Hong Kong have all been shut down over the last couple months for varying periods of time to help prevent the spread of coronavirus. Now, why Disneyland is shutting down right now is because pretty much the entire world is shutting down. Now, the difference between it being a causal closure and a preventative closure is that there have been no reported cases at Disneyland so far, and there have been no reported Disneyland employees, no cast members have been reported to have coronavirus, versus some of the other places that are closing down after they found out someone had it. For example, they found out one player of the Utah Jazz had coronavirus, and so because of all the close proximity of the players and the refs and the coaches and the people that would be interacting on a skin-to-skin basis, they shut down the NBA games for literally the rest of the season. But Disneyland is doing this preventatively, and I think it is because they are following suit because the entire world is pretty much shutting down. Now, some people have been kind of upset about Disneyland closing, and I think that it's absolutely for the best. I also just recently found out within the hour the Universal Studios is closing beginning this Saturday as well, same day as Disneyland, and will be closed throughout March 28th. And I really think it's a good idea that people are doing this, and it's gonna be a massive hit for the Disney economy. It's gonna be a massive hit for the economy everywhere, but everything else is shutting down. The NBA, hockey, baseball, March Madness. They are canceling or postponing all Broadway shows. They just postponed Hamilton in LA. School districts are shutting down. Public transport. I mean, there are so many things. Churches in Rome. I mean, Italy is under lockdown. Same with Germany and Iran. I mean, it's obviously crazy, and I was honestly shocked that Disney didn't shut down sooner, just to follow suit with what's going on right now and for the sake of the safety of all of the cast members and guests. It definitely, as somebody who works very closely with guests, sometimes on a skin-to-skin basis with handshakes and hugs and connections, it's definitely been really stressful. I worked there last weekend, and I definitely was taking some extra precautions, but I was feeling kind of surprised that there hadn't really been any big preventative measures yet. So I definitely think it's a really good thing that this is happening. It's gonna take everyone a lot of time to minimize risk. But as a cast member, I absolutely support what they are doing right now and the preventative measures that they're taking. Obviously, it's really sad and it sucks for people if they had planned vacations, but a lot of people are canceling vacations anyway because they don't want to go in airports, they don't want to fly, they don't want to be in close proximity to others. The best thing, honestly, is for people to just self-quarantine and stay home. But Disneyland, a big question is, are we going to get paid? I was scared at first that we weren't going to get paid if Disneyland shuts down because I just found out that I owe a massive sum in taxes. I claimed my exemptions wrong, and I haven't been paying enough federal taxes throughout the year, so I owe a massive amount on my income taxes, and on my government subsidized healthcare taxes. So I was in a world of hurt financially, and I was feeling really stressed about it, but thankfully Disney will continue to pay its employees as normal, based on how you would normally be scheduled. That's really important because I would be so concerned for the cast members, especially like I have another job at a restaurant, and granted, we are dwindling right now. Business is not really great because everyone's staying home and they're cooking at home and they're frightened to go out and about and be in group settings. But you know, I do have a second job. But some people at Disney is full-time, that's their only job. And like if they, you know, rent is not going to stop, car payments aren't going to stop, you know, the world of money isn't gonna stop because of this virus. Granted, you know, Wall Street and the stock market is not doing well. But you know, there are still bills to pay. So I'm really, really thankful that the resort is still gonna pay their employees. I hope that in the time I'm recording this vlog, it is being announced that Universal will also be paying their employees throughout the duration of the closure. I think that's just so important to, you know, make sure you take care of your own first, your company, your employees, keep people's well-being, you know, as a priority. I mean, the guests and their cast members and their employees as well, their team members, super important. But yeah, it's just so crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Again, like there have been massive weather things that have happened, disasters of all kinds, and we have never had anything like this. So I'm gonna take the time to try and stay home as much as possible. I'm gonna make more YouTube videos. I'm gonna do more self-acting things, work on my website and my submitting for auditions, work with my agency to see if I can send out more self-tapes. I went to an audition this morning in Santa Monica, and they had Purell like at 3 different stations, like for people to do hand sanitizer. But I do think there will be a dwindling in in-person auditions. I know that one of my friends who works for a big studio said that they are in talks of halting all productions right now, which would be absolutely massive. It's just really crazy what's going on with the economy right now. I was listening to an economic podcast on my drive home from my brewery job today, and they're very concerned for the stock market and for people who are nearing their retirement, who have invested for their retirement. The stock market is really not doing well. I know the government sent $1.5 trillion to Wall Street to prevent a giant stock market crash right now. And I'm not an expert on that, so don't misquote me if I say something that's not 100% accurate. I'm barely getting the pieces of news in as they're coming, because everything is so recent. Like everything is almost like people are just like throwing balls of information and of closures and everything all out at once. I mean, we have the news on at work today. I mean, it was insane. I've never seen anything like it in my life. You know, there have been things I remember when the wildfires were going on, how insane that was, but it was so targeted to a specific area. Same when Kobe Bryant passed away, that was a huge media surge, or when there were certain specific events of weather or disaster happening in certain parts of the world at a time, and how the news is focused on that. But this is literally everywhere. It is the entire world. Like, I just can't stop thinking of the movie Contagion, you know, the one with Gwyneth Paltrow and Kate Winslet. I saw that a few years back. And I just remember thinking how scary that movie was, because it just seemed so realistic. I'm actually probably gonna go watch it tonight, just because I'm like, I don't know, I probably wouldn't do any good with like the fear mongering and creating the hysteria, but I've just been thinking about it literally like on the hour, every hour, about how massively horrible they projected the world to be in that movie. And at the rate that coronavirus is spreading, I mean, within a few weeks, we could have millions of cases, millions, which is terrifying. But anyway, I'm not an expert. I just, you know, as a cast member, I know almost as much as the public does right now. I maybe know a few little insider things about what the company is doing, but I know pretty much just what the public does. They've released it very publicly, very quickly. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents as a cast member that I very much support what they're doing, and I think that everyone needs to do their very best to stay safe, wash your hands, bring sanitizer with you, don't panic, and don't go buy 47 mega cases of toilet paper. You know, leave some for your neighbor. But the other biggest thing I want to pass on to people like me, who are not immunocompromised, who are pretty healthy people, who are younger, is don't just be cavalier about it and say, oh, well, it's not gonna affect me. You know, if I'm gonna go out with a bang, let me go book a quick trip to Italy, ha ha ha. Like, it's not funny, because if you have anyone around you who is immunocompromised, who is elderly, and if you get infected and you pass it on to someone else who is more in a high-risk group, then your cavalierness is putting them at risk. So just be really careful, and you have to think kind of like a herd mentality here. Protect yourself, protect others, protect the less fortunate. We have to really be considerate of our world's population as a whole, not just ourselves. So that is something that is really important to me, so do be very careful out there. Take care of yourselves. I'm probably gonna make another video tomorrow, maybe, just because I have so much time on my hands and I have nowhere to go, and I'm pretty much gonna stay in the house for most of the time. So comment down below what you want me to talk about tomorrow. I could do another video. Oh, I had the world's craziest day working at my restaurant today, so I could do another video on restaurant life, working as a server. I could do some beauty hacks, more talks about Disneyland. I don't know. Let me know, because I have so much time on my hands now. Yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there. If you have any questions, comment down below. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Check out my socials. If you haven't, give this video a thumbs up if you're gonna go wash your hands right after this video, and I will see you guys very soon. Okay,